Gemini, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late January, moving into early February 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's happening for the lovely Geminis. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for Gemini gang in late January, early February? It's still Aquarius season. What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Gemini gang. Late January, early February 2025. What is the vibe for my good friends here? What do we got for the Gemini Collective? There we go. Thank you. Cool. All right, so when I look at this card, I always think big picture thinking. And I know there's a lot of interesting symbolism within that card, but to me, it's more like, all right, we're not just looking at this day or this week, we're looking at the big picture. And there's beautiful spiritual undertones as well. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the January subscriber surprise towards then, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So we see this individual, they're kind of wearing like this red costume, and there's the beautiful background with the blue sky and the clouds. And notice that this person is being guided along by those white birds. Now, I always say in symbolism and divination, white birds represent spirit, not only spirit, but love and light. So we're thinking angelic energies, we're thinking ancestors, guides, spirit team, and they're literally leading this person on a journey. That's why I always think that this is big picture, because it's not just like this week, it's like your big picture journey of life. So that's really nice. Now, a lot of you, this could just represent spiritual protection, spirit telling you like, hey, Gemini, you are protected, you are insulated, we are with you. It's a very reassuring type of energy. So that's something a lot of you might feel some comfort in hearing. But a big thing here is thinking about the journey, not just right now, but steps ahead. So for some of you, maybe there are certain situations you're going through where you need to not just look at how it is right now, right this second, but how it could turn out down the road. So we're just going to leave it at that for now. Let's get into tarot. And I always say that first card here doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Gemini gang. What is going on? And while we do, let's talk about last week's reading. The reading was titled The End of a Chapter, and that seems to be a theme I've been picking up for Geminis a lot recently, like chapters closing, things coming to a head, and stuff like that. Now, and endings of chapters don't always have to be a bad thing. Sometimes it's like, all right, we're closing one chapter just to open a new one. And that's kind of what I was picking up mostly in last week's reading. It did feel optimistic, even though it might be difficult. So we're going to see what shows up for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards here for the beautiful Geminis. What is going on for my friends in late January, early February? What do we got in Aquarius season? Okay. All right. So the 6 of Cups in position number 1. And I know we were already talking about like the big picture. This is a card of the past. Okay. It could also represent very important people to us, soul ties, soul connections. It's a very, very strong bond. Let's get a couple more. Let's see what else we could see for Gemini, please. What do we got for our good friends? Thank you. Okay. 8 of Cups. Lots of water here, my friends. That is definitely an energy that is on the go, on the move. Let's get one more. Let's get one more here. Thank you. Okay, 2 of Pentacles. So there could be a good end result. That's one thing I'm seeing here. Even if you're going through any difficulties, I like this 2 of Pentacles on the back end because it does seem balanced. But yeah, there's karmic energies here on the split ends again. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, we got a bit of a mixed bag. Now, I always look at the elements first. I feel like that's very important because it tells us how the energy is moving. And you'll see here we got 2 Cups cards, which is water. That's the realm of emotion, feeling, creativity, love, connections, people that we have strong bonds with. So for a lot of you, you could be extra emotional in this time, feeling things very deeply when this combination is here. We also have some earth. Now that's a good thing because we have to see how the elements play off of each other. And I always say when there's water and earth, that is a recipe for possible good results, abundance, blessings. So this can be good, but there could still be something here in the center that's a little bit uncomfortable that we'll definitely want to touch on, that's for sure. So let's go through piece by piece and really start to build this out. Position number one, we're starting here with the Six of Cups. And it's a beautiful little image. We see these two young children and they're sharing a cup with each other. It's a nice setting and it's really comforting as well. That's another vibe I'm continuing to get throughout this reading. There's a certain comfort zone. This is a card of soul ties, soul connections, bonds, people that we are very, very close to. So whether that is a friend, a family member, even a lover, you name it, it's just someone that's very, very important. It is a card of history as well. So when I see this card, I think of memories. I think of things that have already happened. I think of a really deep, rich history with somebody. So we definitely want to explore this further because it could tell us how something from the past is influencing the future. That's most definitely the case. Now, every card has positive and challenge. I gave you a bunch of the positives. The challenges of this, sometimes it can represent bad memories, a rough history, somebody that's been through a lot of things. Now, everybody's been through a thing or two, but when this card shows up in its challenge, it could be someone that's really gone through the ringer, if that makes sense. So we'll definitely want to look at this further. And then especially with the Eight of Cups right next to it, this is something I've been seeing for a few signs in recent weeks. There could definitely be things that are reemerging, returning, especially from the past, whether it's situations that you've dealt with, whether it's individuals. Moving to the center, we do have the Eight of Cups. And you see this image, there's a bit of mystery involved. Notice that it's at nighttime, there's a moon here, this person is heading off into the unknown. Now, classically, a lot of people like to say that this card just represents walking away from something, and that could most definitely be a message. So for some Geminis, there could be certain situations, behaviors, individuals, you name it, where it's like, all right, well, I'm going to not give energy to this, or I'm stepping away for a moment. Makes sense. But to me, this is a neutral card of action, where it's like someone's making a move. And with this mystery shrouding it, it's like, is it coming or going? What's it going to do? Where's it going next? That's kind of a vibe I pick up. Now, in the challenge of this, it could represent abandonment. So for some Geminis, you might be feeling like you've been left out in the cold. Maybe you feel like you've been abandoned or left behind. There could be lonesomeness here, like yearning for somebody. That's a challenge of this card. And usually when this card shows up in reverse, that's another card that I represent returning with. So it's like, all right, something's looping back around. Here we go again. So with these two cards on the front, there could be various situations where you're either dealing with a similar thing that you've already dealt with, or it could even be a return. I'm picking that up already in a very strong way. Now, moving to the back end is what really has me feeling most optimistic. We do have the Two of Pentacles, and you see this individual there, they're like juggling the pentacles, kind of balancing them off. I connect this, even though it's earth energy, I do connect this to Libra because it's like that universal balancing of the scales. And I always say that this card is very harmonious. Now, twos in tarot represent decisions, choices, being at a crossroads, but also partnerships. So again, we have two cards of partnerships happening here. Now, normally this is a very positive result, a win or a victory, we might say, where it's like, okay, that turned out in my favor or that worked for me. But the challenge of the Two of Pentacles could represent something that's not fair, something that's not right, something that is unbalanced. So there could be various situations where you're like, that's not really sitting right with me. The Two of Pentacles could also represent a very busy energy because that person is juggling. So it's like, all right, I'm juggling a lot of things. I'm juggling a lot of responsibilities. I'm dealing with a lot of things. So whether it's situations or problems or just responsibilities, we'll definitely want to look into this further. So as I'm sure you could see, there's a lot of nuance to your reading this week. I want to dive deeper on all of it, Gemini. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for my good friends. What do we got? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Six of Cups. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Gemini, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, why is the Six of Cups here? Someone doing a little reminiscing? What do we got? Why is that six here, please? What is that Six of Cups? Whoa, okay. We have the Tower in the upright. Now, for some of you, this could be a good thing. I guess it depends on your perspective. If you're connected to Scorpio, this is very powerful energy. Everyone knows that the Tower represents shock. Okay, when we see it underneath the Six of Cups, there's two main messages that I'm thinking about here. For some of you, there could have been a fallout with somebody that is very, very important to you, and you're still working through it and dealing with it and thinking about it. Either that or they are, right? Because the Tower does represent hitting the reset button, things coming back to ground zero. So again, this could absolutely represent somebody really thinking about, like, damn, like, did it have to go down that way? Is there any other way it could have gone? So that's a big vibe we're picking up here. Someone that really hasn't gotten over something just yet. So whether it's a shocking situation where this person's still unpacking it, still dealing with it. But again, I've been talking about this return-based type of energy. When I see the Six of Cups with the Tower, it straight up, it's like a shocking return of some sort. So again, whether it is a situation, whether it's a person, when I see the Six of Cups in the Tower, it's like, boom, this energy comes in out of nowhere. So I feel like depending on your situation right now, it could be either or, it could be both even, okay? Like whether it is that still dealing and working through a shocking situation, or it's the shocking return. I feel like it's very straightforward. It's like one or the other. So we're going to keep it moving. We're not going to linger here too long. I don't want to dwell on it. But for some of you, specifically those of you connected with people with strong Scorpio placements, like this could be them showing up in a good way. So let's see what's up with that Eight of Cups. Let's see what's up with the Eight of Cups, please. I really want to get to the Two of Cups as well. There's the Two of Cups here. Thank you. Okay. All right, this could represent somebody getting to a point where they're feeling a little fed up. Eight of Swords in reverse, it's like, all right, this is getting to be a little too much. This is too much to think about. This is too much for me to deal with right now. And I was picking up a similar thing in the Aries reading last week where it's like, you know what, I'm not even going to think about it anymore. I'm not even going to deal with it. Like if it's bothering me that much, then why am I even stressing myself out? It's like giving me that type of vibe. Now notice we do have the double eights showing up right down the center. Very powerful, very karmic, especially with the karmic card right here. So we do have these karmic archetypes with the Tower, the Two of Pentacles, double eights in the center. It's really strong universal energy here, which I've been seeing for you in little drips and drabs over recent weeks. But the Eight of Swords in reverse represents unburdening yourself with something. It talks about, you know what, if something stresses you out enough or is making you feel trapped or making you feel cornered, when I see it in reverse, it's either giving up, saying, you know what, I can't anymore, I can't deal with this anymore, or again, it's somebody hitting a point where it's like, you know what, nothing I can do about it, so why am I going to stress it? It's like giving me that kind of vibe. Now, it doesn't just have to mean just walking away for no reason. But when I see the Eight of Cups, Eight of Swords in reverse, it's like someone reaching a breaking point, if that makes sense. So again, we'll just leave it at that. Very simple, straightforward. Let's keep moving forward. Let's see what the Two of Pentacles has. So lots of powerful energy for you this week. Lots of powerful energy here. So why is the Two of Pentacles, pardon me, why is the Two of Pentacles here for Gemini? Then we'll do our quick recap before we get into the shadow card. So talk to me about that Two of Pentacles, please. What's going on? Thank you. All right, cool. So there absolutely can be a final result. We do have the Magician in the upright underneath this Two of Pentacles. Again, notice he has the universal symbol, the karmic symbol above his head, the infinity sign, double eights, which are infinity signs as well in a different way. So these karmic energies are all over your reading this week. Now, the Magician is the master manifester. For a lot of Geminis, just know if a situation didn't go your way or it took the wrong bounce, for a lot of you, there is a lot of energy work and manifesting you can do to switch the result. Now, of course, you can't go back into the past and change what's already happened, but you can change how it goes moving forward. That's one thing I'm picking up here as well. So just know your powers to manifest and create are really, really strong right now. So that's a good thing. Not making the same mistakes twice. That's another thing I'm picking up here. But the Magician is a card of control. Aside from all the things I already mentioned, when I see it underneath the Two of Pentacles, it's Spirit either saying, or you might be thinking, I'm only going to worry about what I can control. Okay, like there's a lot of things in life that are out of our hands. Other people's actions, other people's reactions, things that happen in the world around us. A lot of times we really don't have much of a say at the current moment. But what we can control is our reactions. What we can control is what we do moving forward. So when I see this Two of Pentacles on the back end, it's like, all right, I'm going to stop worrying about things I can't control, but I'm going to worry about the things that I can, which is a really healthy place to be. So I feel for a lot of Geminis, if you are going through any very difficult situations, you're going to come out on the other side with a better perspective, if that makes sense. So I really like this energy on the back end. You can definitely change your trajectory moving forward. So let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadows. So yeah, nice ending here to the reading. But we start off a little choppy. If you kindly look in the box, position number one, we're starting with the Six of Cups and the Tower, two main things here. So for a portion of you, this could be somebody that has gone through a shocking situation or a tower moment, and they could still be ruminating on it or still dealing with it and healing through it, most definitely. For another portion of you, this could be a shocking return of some sort, where it's like, oh, I wasn't expecting to hear from you, or a situation popping up that you weren't expecting to deal with again. So it's a shocking return of some sort for a portion of you. It could be both. Moving to the center, we have the Eight of Cups with the Eight of Swords in reverse. There could be somebody that's about to reach a breaking point. I also get the vibe of someone saying, you know what, I'm tired of stressing about this. I don't even care anymore. So for some of you, you might be getting close to that point. But another vibe here is like, you know, there's nothing I can really do. So why am I going to stress it? Not stressing about things that you can't control that are out of your hands. Moving to the back end, we have the Two of Pentacles with the Magician. Beautiful. So although things may have already went down, things may have happened, you can most definitely change how you go moving forward. There's a really strong power of manifesting and directing your own ship, which is really good. And this really powerful embedded energy on the back end of worry about the things that you can control. Don't worry so much about the things that are out of your hands. And I feel like for a lot of you, there's a healthy ending to something. So like the final result is transformational in a positive way. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what is in the shadows for you, my friends. So let's get a good shuffle here for my Geminis. Let's see what's in the shadows, please. What is happening? And yes, I would like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. And if you've made it to this point in reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going here. What do we got for the Geminis in the shadows? Thank you. All right, Knight of Swords, that's one of your power cards because you are an air sign, and the Knight of Swords is you. And what is it doing? It's always moving forward, perpetually moving forward, not backtracking. Now, there is a shadow side to this card as well. It can be a little grumpy. It can be a little angry. It can be very aggressive. So just know, with this being in the shadows, some Geminis, you might be a little extra aggressive than you normally are, or attacking a situation more aggressively than you usually would. This isn't a bad thing, but at the same time, the Knight of Swords can also just represent continuing to move forward, which we kind of see within the reading itself. So I feel like this could be a really good thing, especially since this is one of your power cards. But I would say like the only cautionary thing I have here with the Knight of Swords is just watching out for confrontation or going a little too hard, being a little too aggressive. Okay. And yeah, pretty good. I like that. It's very blunt, straightforward type of energy. So Gemini, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the January subscriber surprise. If you would like to get a personal reading from me and get a little forecast for what 2025 has in store for you, you can check out my website and digital calendar at mastermetaphysics.com to look for availability. But for the January subscriber surprise, we are once again giving away 3 copies of the beautiful Everyday Witches Tarot. It's one of my favorite decks. And if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, what is your main goal for the 2025 calendar year? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab as usual, my friends. Much love, and I'll see you soon.